we'll dive deeper in a minute. So what does spiritual awakening feel like?
Well, first of all, it does feel like waking up, like literally from sort of a dream. And because it is, we're waking up from the dream that we've constructed of ourselves, right? It doesn't mean like we don't exist or something. It just means we don't exist as the construct in our mind. And boy, when awareness or consciousness wakes up out of that, it feels like when you wake up in the morning. And it usually feels like an immense relief. I remember for me, it felt like I just put down a 150-pound backpack that I didn't even know I was carrying all my life. It becomes so habituated. I think that's a lot of, psychological, emotional weight, all these things, a sense of lightness, of expansion, of appreciation, I think, for as much as, spirituality can sometimes seem almost life denying because we're, letting go of thought and disattachment and not grasping this and all this stuff, it can start to feel like, but if it goes right, it's not pointing us into a life denying place. It's actually almost the opposite, like profound intimacy, connection with life. Yeah, that's about as close as I could come.
Yeah, thank you. That's a beautiful description. Would you say that is like synonymous with happiness, or is it different from happiness?
It's different from the happiness as we normally conceive it and probably even experience it, because most of our happiness has a cause, right? I'm happy because this happened. That's fine. I get happy from causes all the time. But the happiness that comes from our true nature, it's an uncaused joy. It seems to be just an innate aspect of our being, of our depth, that there is a certain joy. I haven't done this for a while, but I used to express it all the time as, for me, it was kind of like a serene joy. And is like a serene joy. For other people, there's always little different human permutations of how it feels and is experienced. But, so there's a commonality, but there's also this little uniqueness. So my unique version of it would be something like serene joy.
Yeah,
that's
serene joy is a good word for it. I think that there's a term in French. It's called joie de vivre.
Yes.
French, so maybe I'm pronouncing it badly, but like the joy of life, of being alive.
Yes. Yeah.
And I feel like that's what it is. It's like underneath all of the thoughts, underneath all the beliefs and ideas and preferences, there's like a fundamental joy of being alive, being conscious.
Yeah.
Embedded there.
Yes.
They in the yogic way, they phrase it in Sanskrit, Satchidananda. I'm not sure if you're aware of that phrase. I'm sure you are.
I am.
Satchidananda is like existence, consciousness, bliss. It's all one thing. It's like all one fabric, like the existence itself and the consciousness and the bliss. It's all one thing.
Yeah. It's a great it sounds so philosophical, but it's actually, it just sounds so much like some guy, some girl sitting around 1,000 years ago going, how do I communicate this experience, right? Something I'm feeling, a perception of life. Hey, this might be a nice little synopsis, way to do that. And
or like a brand name for their type of meditation. So some
maybe so, right?
An early enterprising mystic called Satchidananda meditation. Yes,
right.
I'm
sure it's been done.
But it's a beautiful thing. I guess happiness is a little bit of a vague word. I think a lot of our words in English are not as precise as those Sanskrit words. Right. That Sanskrit so precise in that way, at least in the nature of consciousness, and these spiritual concepts. In here in the West, we have these very precise terms for like matter and all these different forms of matter and all that stuff. But over there they had all these much more precision in the spiritual world, you could say. So I guess happiness. Yeah, I guess happiness is going to be too vague for us to define, but I guess
But
it's
happiness is okay, just like as a place setter or something, a placeholder. Like, yeah, it is. It's not the garden variety happiness, like the cause, I'm happy because of this. It's just happiness that comes out of existence itself. But I'm okay with the word happiness too. That works for me.
Yeah, I like it. I have a friend who's a Zen teacher, and he doesn't like. He says, just like when you're talking about meditation, don't tell people that they're going to be happy. And he kind of thinks of it in the way of equanimity, like being, at peace. But that if you tell people that they're going to be happy, then they think that they're always going to be in the state of happiness. But I do say it makes people happy because it makes you happier in a different way, not in that dependent way.
Right. Of course, I get the teacher's, hesitancy in the sense you make anything a standard, and then everybody's chasing that in meditation, looking for something, or they're trying to feel really, really happy when actually, you're aiming at something. You're not aiming at happiness. That's the thing. You aim at happiness is kind of a pretty good way to be unhappy.
Yeah.
Not entirely. There's things we can do that are helpful, but yeah, we don't want to be aiming at some experience that we've conceived and then we have in our mind, and then we're, driving towards that, which is what like almost all of us do when we start, right?
Yeah.
We almost can't help that, but as we get a little more mature with it, or a little more experience with really looking into this, we realize, well, no, this isn't just about. This is something far deeper even than happiness, as wonderful as that is. This is pivotal. It's, as we've said earlier, that at the end of the day, the deeper realms of enlightenment aren't really defined by experience, period. But that doesn't mean there's no experience, right? It's not like we're dead. It's just kind of like your friend. It's like a way of saying, hey, don't make this just about the pursuit of experiences,
Yeah. I want to come